October 19, 2019. While laying in bed, gulping every recommendation that YouTube had for me, I came across this. Huh? Democratic debates?
This is a disease of capitalism run amok.
It is at this video that the Yang Gang pulled me in.
Women are the majority.
But how? If he was only literally shown for one sentence. Same answer. It was the Yang Gang. They pulled me in by the comment section. Yang, Andrew Yang, Yang, Andrew Yang, 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 2 seconds of Yang, Yang, Yang 2020. So many Yang comments. I mean, you get the point. So I asked myself, who is Andrew Yang?
We need to create a new way forward for our people. We have record high corporate profits in this country right now, but people in New Hampshire know what else are at record highs. Mental illness, stress, debt, substance abuse, overdoses, suicides. What we have to do is actually get the markets working to improve our family's way of life. Instead of following GDP and corporate profits off a cliff, we should be measuring our own health and wellness, life expectancy, mental health and freedom from substance abuse, clean air and clean water, how our kids are doing. The way forward is a new human-centered version of capitalism that actually uses the markets to improve our families' lives.
Make America think harder. I don't know if it is just me, because I've only gone through 2 administrations in my entire 21 years of life, Barack Obama and Donald Trump, but I've been noticing that this country isn't what it was when I was a kid. I used to believe that I lived in the country that led the world, not just economically, but in every single aspect. All I see now is the country that I love is number one in so many of the wrong things. We live in a country that is number one in things like the most incarceration in rates, obesity, total reported crimes, people on pharmaceutical drugs, including antidepressants, student loan debt, and the most that spends on healthcare.
Twice as much as any other major country on earth.
Like most of us, I always wanted to be the president of the United States, even though I legally can't because I wasn't born there. But the feeling that one day you can lead the leading country of the world was so daring to think about. However,
when you watch the debate and you watch Donald Trump, do you ever laugh? Do you ever actually laugh?
Most of the time.
155 million people are now employed, while the Obama administration in its final year was losing 1,000 manufacturing jobs a month. We have to defeat Nancy Pelosi.
division. Both Democrats and Republicans have been dividing the community further and further from a middle point, and this causes us to have to choose one.
Well, America is plagued by the specter of fascist violence, and in an ironic twist, these fascists call themselves anti-fascist, Antifa. Whenever conservatives want to speak on campus or hold a rally, Antifa groups are a reliable presence, and they routinely try to stamp out speech using vigilante violence, which they perversely justify as a form of self-defense.
Well, a group calling itself mostly anti-fascist showed up around 10 o'clock to make sure that people would know that not everyone in Berkeley supported these speakers. Police set up...
If you are willing to say anything and do anything, even when it undermines everything that's been built by previous generations, that's a problem. And that's why I take this election very seriously.
I always naively asked myself, why not both? Why not take what is best of both parties?
Our great country and your president have been put through a terrible ordeal by some very dishonest and corrupt people. I don't like people who use their faith as justification for doing what they know is wrong.
The allegations made in the articles of impeachment are very serious. As a senator juror, I swore an oath before God to exercise impartial justice. I am profoundly religious. The grave question the Constitution tasks senators to answer is whether the president committed an act so extreme and egregious that it rises to the level of a high crime and misdemeanor. Yes, he did.
Nor do I like people who say, I pray for you, when they know that that's not so.
In any event, I pray for the President of the United States, and I pray for the United States of
America. Thank you very much. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people.
A party that would care about the well-being of its citizens and a patriot to the country.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
While helping citizens on all economic classes.
Since my election, we have created 7 million new jobs. If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success.
The top 1% now own more of this nation's wealth than the bottom 90% combined. Senator Sanders, when you introduced your wealth tax, which would tax the assets of the wealthiest Americans, you said, quoting you, Senator, billionaires should not exist.
A party who can combat climate change.
Literally engulfing the continent of Australia right now.
If we don't have the guts to take on the fossil fuel industry and tell them that their short-term profits are not more important than the future of this planet, then I got to tell you, according to the scientists, the world that we're going to be leaving our kids and our grandchildren is going to be increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. And I think we have a moral responsibility to make sure that does not happen.
Why can't there be a leader?
Hold up! Hold up! Hold up! Hey, hold up! Hold up!
Is that a protest?
Hold up! First of all, we live in a country that respects free speech.
Get out of here, kid.
Second of all, it looks like maybe he might have served in our military, and we got to respect that.
Get him the hell out of here.
Third of all, he was elderly, and we got to respect our elders.
In the midterms.
Here we go.
If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
Can you tell the country, sir, why you are content with all the fanfare around this deal to leave the conscience of this nation, the strength of this nation unaccounted for in relation to these 4 Americans?
I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
The notion that I'm content as I celebrate with American citizens languishing in Iranian jails, Major, that's nonsense. And you should know better.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN.
A president who is not left, not right, but forward.
We are going through the greatest economic transformation in our country's history, the 4th Industrial Revolution, and it is pushing more and more of our people to the side. We talk as if Donald Trump is a cause of all of our problems. He is not. He is a symptom, and we need to cure the disease. And if you can imagine what an extra $1,000 a month would mean in the hands of each family and then multiplied by the families in a community, you would have a lot of that money go to local nonprofits and youth groups and religious organizations that would end up fueling many more positive paths forward for young people instead of having them just get lost and feel like they have no future. Technology is ripping us apart. Immigrants are being scapegoated. Our kids are being left behind. And the American dream that my parents came here to find is dying before our eyes.
That is Andrew Yang.